Hello and welcome back to the Little Scale Cars YouTube channel. Today in the review box we have the Matchbox Karma GS-6. So this is a brand new casting for 2023, and let's go ahead and take a closer look and see if this one is worth adding to your collection. Let's go ahead and get started with our casting. So just a quick overlook, our proportions, while they look a little wonky, they're actually not, because this car is just a little wonky looking in general, but they look pretty accurate to the real life car. We'll go ahead and put an example of the real life car up there in the corner. So our proportions are pretty good, and this casting is actually pretty similar, just off of my memory, to the old Fisker Karma casting as well. So since these two cars are so similar, it's nice that the castings are also similar. Moving into our actual casted details here, we do have our headlights are a part of the, I think, the window piece, so that makes it nice. We won't ever have to worry about this casting being released without headlights. And then we do have quite a bit of casted in details just up front here. This bit here is a piece of the base. Moving down the sides, we've got our doors, door handles. We do have mirrors. We've got, I'm assuming this is our charging ports. We have that on each side. We do have quite a bit of detail in the lines there. Moving up to the roof section, we don't actually have any kind of roof. We have this totally see-through plastic piece for the roof. I'm going to assume the real-life car is kind of like that, with like just a big sunroof kind of thing. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm hoping that's at least accurate to the real-life car. And then moving on our hood here, we've got just some kind of curvature casted in there that the real life car would have. For our paint and deco, so we have very simple and plain kind of look here. We just got this nice metallic blue going on, and that's really it as far as the paint department goes. You have that tan interior kind of pairing with it, which overall it looks good, it looks clean. This is a color that the real life car comes in. I'll go ahead and see if I can find a picture of that, and we'll put that in the top corner there. And overall, you know, it's nice, it's simple, but it really works, and it really didn't need anything crazy going for our detail department. Starting up front, like I mentioned, we do have quite a bit of casted details, and our headlights are there, and they are plastic. We do have a Karma logo here, which looks nice. We also have this kind of makeshift grill section. Obviously, it's not a grill like a traditional car would have, but we do have that tampoed on, and it does look good. We do have some windshield wipers there, and the interior bits are looking pretty sharp. I guess that is the major plus of having this very see-through. You can really see the interior nicely. As we mentioned, we do have mirrors. Not a whole lot of detail work down the side other than the casted ones we've already talked about. Moving on to our butt here, though, we do have taillights, which look really nice. We have another Karma logo back here, as well as, in really small letters, the Karma name written out there, which looks really cool, despite the fact that it is pretty small. We also have a license plate here with the GS-6 kind of lettered out there. It looks nice. Now, it is hard to tell, but there is a tampo of some sort right here across the back. And then there's also one kind of up here in the spoiler section. They're hard to see because they blend in very well with the color, but they are there, and they just add just that little touch. This being a basic Matchbox, it should be no surprise that it rolls, and it rolls very nicely. For our pros and cons, we'll get started with our pros here. The first and biggest pro that I can come up with is that this is our first Karma GS-6 in the 1/64th-ish scale that I know of at least. The other big pro that I think this one has is it looks like, I don't have the original Fisker Karma casting on hand to compare it to. I do have the casting, but I only have one example, and it's buried deep in my collection, too deep to actually get to at the moment. But just from looks, it seems like it goes very nicely with that casting. I remember that casting being quite long and kind of awkward looking, I guess, just because the car itself is kind of awkward looking. So I like that it's compatible with the older casting of essentially the same car. As far as our cons go, this is a basic model, so it's like, what, $1.20 in the stores now? So really, as far as basics go, I can't really think of any major cons that this casting has. I mean, if it's not your cup of tea, it's not your cup of tea, but as far as the actual casting and the execution of it goes, I can't really think of anything major. The only thing I can say is possibly I would like this to be metal and have a not so see-throughable roof, but that only applies if the real-life car has that, which I haven't done any research into this car, and I don't know this car well enough to know that for sure. But yeah, that's the only thing I could say is even possibly a con. And for some quick size comparisons, here we have it next to the Hot Wheels Pininfarina Battista and the Matchbox Tesla Roadster. If you want to see in-depth pictures of these cars, make sure you check out my Instagram at LittleScaleCars. Alright, it is now time to give my overall thoughts. So I think I'm going to go ahead and give this one an 8.5 out of 10. So it came out super nice. It goes pretty good with the old Fisker casting, which this car is essentially the same car, just kind of updated and modernized. So it's nice that they pair well together. The details are pretty good as far as basic model goes. The color came out really nice as well, and it's a realistic and accurate color for the real-life car. It may not be the most exciting car choice, and definitely not the most exciting EV choice, but overall, it's something that I'm glad they did, since they did do the Fisker Karma back in the day. So I'm kind of glad that we got kind of an updated version. And it came out really nice as far as what we got, and the fact that it's only a basic model. I mean, there's really nothing to complain about. If you're into this kind of car, this is a perfectly reasonable representation for your collection, you know, and at a good price because it's a basic model too. So, yeah, I think it's really deserving of the 8.5 out of 10. It's pretty nice. And that's all I have for this review, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe if you are new, and leave a comment down below telling me what your thoughts are on this particular model. And I will see you in the next video.